What's up, everybody? Yeti Trades here. So, no trades for me today. I also took no trades Friday. Friday, I kind of spent the day just charting SPY in live time. Just kind of taking the process out of my mind of looking at multiple charts and looking for multiple entries. Just kind of step back a little bit Friday and just wanted to simplify things and try to make it so these patterns start coming more clearly, and a little bit more confident with my entry set points. So we're looking at Monday, but this is pretty much the same thing I did Friday as well. So just going to run through everything on my screen real quick. So from open to this candle here at about 11:15, I charted this. So coming into this, we have the 2-minute chart, and we've got our first little flag that formed. We gapped up so far, it's hard to really chase it either way. We had another little trend line we could have drawn here, but we kept coming down and then coming back to our anchored VWAP here. So kind of waiting to see it when we broke through. And as we zoom in a little bit, what we have is the EMAs and the VWAP all converging and crossing right here, breaking this trend line up. That would have been a solid point to entry. That's what I was charting out as this came through. And we got this second flag or trend line up here forming that never broke, and we broke back through the VWAP, came down and tested the 20 EMA on this candle, popped back into the VWAP and failed to hold it. So that would have been a good spot to enter. And that's what I was looking at on the puts. This right here was breaking down, and I just put a news arrow. I forget what came up at this point, but it just caused everything to just plummet. It pushed right through the 400 level like it didn't exist, which should have been a major spot. So then we came back through the anchored VWAP, and the options I was watching, I would have been out just above this line by about 3 to 4 cents. That's how I would have played it, because this is a support line or resistance line depending on how it plays out. You can see how we came underneath it, hugged it, stayed real close to it. This was a dirty candle here, if anyone got in on it. You can see our first retest of the 9 EMA, came back down, broke back into the 9, but we'd put some distance between here and here on the 9 and 20. And when it's that far apart, it's not the easiest place for me to enter. I like it to be a little tighter than that. So you come back up here, and we get a nice little reversal. These are little reversals I like to look for. They're not always a reversal, but they tend to be, for what I'm watching most of the time, as a safe entry point. That's when you have a candle followed by a smaller inside candle followed by a larger outside candle. So you got outside, inside, outside, and all three of these were at the 20 EMA. We rejected and we pushed down. And I started keeping catalog of the pricing that I was watching. So 398 went from 64 cents a contract to 87 cents at the bottom of here. And then from here, I pretty much quit watching. Took a break off through the middle of the day, heard just a little bit, came back, and about right here started watching things again. So you can see we came in on test of the 20 EMA and held. So I looked at contracts here, 400 calls were at 31 cents, and up here where I'd planned on a potential exit was at 41 cents. So 10 cents a contract they gained. So my thought being, had I entered, I would have been out just before the test of the anchored VWAP. And this is why I'm doing this kind of step back, slow down, and just kind of go over things and really look at my trend lines that I set, my charting, and just try to make a more conclusive decision on, am I doing things in the right direction, and to try and make it just feel more natural when I enter it. I'm not so stressed about it, because these 400 calls right here had dropped down to 24 cents. So they were 31 down here, 26 up here. And then as you see down here, the 400s were at 12 cents on this candle. And that was the potential re-entry I was looking at. Come down and test this little trend line right here at the 398.01 or at the 397.87. Either one of these. And it didn't make it all the way. So I deleted the little flat bottom line I put in right here just because it was kind of clustered. But I drew up a line across these two candles, and the thought being enter on this candle when it broke above here, the high of this candle. Anyway, this ran all the way up. If I wouldn't have been fully out by the retest of the VWAP, then I would have been out at least half, and I would have certainly been out before we got up here to this line. And you can see switched from calls back to puts. There were 52 up here, 52 cents contract up here for the 399 0 DTEs, 76 down here, 93 right there, and it just kept getting better and better. I quit cataloging it after this point here. I think they went as high as like 280 or maybe 290 by the low of the day down here. But anyway, I circled this spot because it's a nice afternoon re-entry. You've got your EMAs getting tight, they're curling down, and they're going back under the anchored VWAP. So that's what I spent my day mostly doing. I mean, I was also looking at several charts, but this was the only one I was really charting. You had one more flag here. I wouldn't have taken it. You have another flag here with a little double top up against the 20. I still don't think I would have taken it personally. And then you got this little rebound off the low, and we're kind of hanging out on the purple 20 EMA, but we didn't go anywhere. No final like quick $2 push or anything. So just a way to spend the day, as opposed to just sitting at screens knowing or thinking I'm probably not going to enter anything. Might as well utilize it some way. Anyway, that's what I got. Thanks.